movement that's taking place on the border at this moment in time and how it compares to previous days?
There are still people coming across this border, many foreigners. We've just seen 3 coachloads of Chinese construction workers who were stuck in Libya for many days, unable to get out. Many Egyptians have been using this border as well, and Tunisians. The latest figures we have is that since Monday, around 20,000 people have used this western border to leave Libya. It has become increasingly difficult to do so because of the fighting that we've seen in towns nearby, and also checkpoints which are being stationed by pro-Gaddafi militia wearing green headbands. About 15 kilometres from where we are is the last checkpoint before the border. That's where people are being searched. Their SIM cards, their memory cards, any electronics and footage is being taken off them, as well as money. So no footage of what is actually happening on the ground is able to get out for us to see it here on this border. There is a potential for a humanitarian crisis, but at the moment we're not seeing that many Libyans coming across this border. The Libyans who are coming have told us the reason why they've come across is because they're scared for their lives. They're on a list. Security forces are after them. They'll kill them if they find them. But many Libyans are choosing to stay at home to protect their homes from burning and looting, and to fight on against these Gaddafi forces.
Nazneen, thanks a lot for that update from Ras Ajdir of the Tunisian-Libyan border. Let's look at those pictures from Derna and bring in Ibrahim Jibril. You've been the picture of objectivity ever since you sat down, and the picture of keeping it together, but you've become slightly emotional looking at those pictures. Why?
Well, I'm looking at my hometown, where I haven't been for 31 years. I haven't been able to go see my town and walk its streets and smell its smell for 31 years. I haven't been able to take my children and show them where I grew up. I haven't been able to walk and reminisce about my youth days. And now, alhamdulillah, I'm able to look across and I'm able to see my people proud, dignified, free, in control. So I am very emotional about that.
Looking at some of those banners in Derna and some of those banners as well in Benghazi, many showing unity with the west of the country. How significant is that?
Extremely significant. We wanted to make sure you can see the country is sending a message to Gaddafi, who tried and played the card of East and West and divided country, and he and his son did the same thing. You are seeing the part of the country that can say anything it wants to say, totally independent, saying we are in total solidarity with our brothers and sisters in the West. We are all for Tripoli, they're saying. They're chanting that we will never let Trablus, let Tripoli down. So this is a very significant, tremendous message of solidarity, of unity, of the fact that this is one people, one family, one tribe, one nation, one mind, unified and solidified, determined to rule, determined to oust this nightmare and to take over towards dignity, towards democracy, towards freedom, towards a new Libya altogether, a Libya that does not know a Gaddafi in it.
Historic moments, especially for the east of the country. We'll have to see if it translates to the west as well. For the moment, Ibrahim Jibril, thanks again. Now, just to remind you, you're watching AlJazeera's extended coverage of the protests taking place across the Middle East. Let's look at the top stories. Tens of thousands of people have taken to the streets across Libya after Friday prayers. These are pictures from Derna in the east of the country. It comes amidst growing international pressure on Muammar Gaddafi's violent crackdown on protesters. Violence has broken out during a protest rally in the Iraqi capital, Baghdad. AlJazeera's correspondent at the rally said protesters were throwing shoes and stones at the riot police, who responded by storming the protesters, almost causing a stampede. Demonstrations against government corruption and poor living conditions are also taking place in other cities across Iran. Tens of thousands of pro-government activists have taken to the streets of Yemen's capital, Sana'a. Now, it comes as a surge of pro- and anti-government rallies take place across the country. Earlier, Yemen's president ordered the formation of a committee to open talks with protesters who are demanding that he step down. And Egyptians are keeping up pressure on the transitional government, with many thousands turning out in Cairo's Tahrir, or Liberation Square, after Friday prayers. Now, they want the military leaders to appoint a new cabinet and ended the decades-old emergency rule in the country. Let's go to Shireen Tadros. Shireen, that's at the crux of their demand. What's the likelihood that they're going to be listened to by the caretaker government?
Well, the caretaker government is doing really all it can to try and reassure people that it's just a matter of time before they heed to all their demands. And actually, the call that's being made by the people is more towards the military council, who they're asking to dissolve that caretaker